Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rewired Parent. I'm Julie Cornish, and I am super happy you're here today. On this channel, we talk about shift and growth, how you can connect more deeply with yourself and with your children. I always start with yourself first because you are the foundation of your family. You are the support system. And you are who you get to control, right? So you have the ability to change yourself. You can't change others. That's up to them, even your children. So when you start with that shift within you, that change within yourself, it's going to reflect out to the rest of your family. And I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're willing and ready to make the effort to change and to grow and to shift in that new direction. Our conversation today is on shifting from control to curiosity and how that changed my parenting personally and how I believe it can help you to change yours. As a parent myself of 11 years, I feel like it's taken me so long to figure out what the hell I'm doing. When I was thinking about becoming a parent, maybe even when I was pregnant, when before that, I thought so much about how I was going to parent differently, how I was going to be a guide. I wasn't going to be telling my kid what to do. I was going to be like really there for them on this really conscious level. And I don't even know at that point if I even really knew what that meant. I can almost say certainly I probably didn't. But that was what I thought I was going to do. That was my plan. I was going to unschool them. It was going to be this like seamless, beautiful, like parenting journey. And that sounds great, right? But as many of you know, that's not how that shit works out. My first child was pretty easy. He was pretty zen. So I came in with my first thinking that I was just a really pretty good mom. Like, I mean, I had my challenges, no doubt. And when it came to like starting to teach him and read and things like that, there started being some triggers that came up and things like that. And there were difficulties, no doubt, but he was pretty easy. I just thought, I would see moms with their kids on the leash and was just totally a judgy asshole. But don't worry, I got a swift reality kick with my second child. He came along about 5.5 years after my first. So there's a pretty big age split. And I have two boys, 11 and 5 now. And my second one was not at all like my first one. I'm sure you can relate to that. If you have two children, they can be so vastly different. It's amazing that they even possibly came from the same body. My second one is a CEO. He's a boss. Like he is not to be controlled. It is exhausting, but it has forced me, and I will say forced because I probably otherwise may not have done it, to grow as a parent. I enrolled myself in the Peaceful Parenting Coaching program because of him, because I was struggling going through a separation, two kids, COVID. I had an autoimmune condition that was just being realized as Hashimoto's. I was really quite overweight, felt awful. I was tired. I was a grumpy butthole like 90% of the time. So I was really struggling to manage these behaviors, and having my second one be so much more of a personality, of a not like taking my shit when I was having a bad day. Really, like we butted heads. It created a lot of conflict. I went to bed a lot at night feeling really guilty, a lot of shame, often having tears, just going to bed feeling super guilty and shitty about my parenting, among all the other stressors. And we can all relate to that, especially in this time right now, in this day and age. There's so much going on in the world. It's hard to stay focused on our family unit and what's important there and not let those outside stressors affect how we're reacting to our children. And with my youngest, it came up most recently because I have been struggling saying these same words over and over again to the point where I'm annoying myself to my kids, specifically him, is you're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. Blah, 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 blah. And I can honestly say sometimes I'm a slow learner as a parent. I have a friend who she reads some parenting book and then bam, like she's integrated it and she's there. Me, it's I should know this. I went through a very long course. I've been doing this work for quite a while, but I can say that sometimes integrating things for me takes a while, and that's okay. We're all different. We're all on a different path and a different journey, and we're not here to judge and we're not here to shame, and we don't want to feel bad about ourselves. We are all doing our best. And no matter what your best is or where you at, it is your best and it is beautiful and you're putting the effort in. And so please value that. Please give yourself compassion for that because you deserve it. Because parenting is really hard, like the hardest job ever, right? Back to the curiosity versus control, why it's super valuable, why it's going to make your life easier. So for me, it was that you're not listening to me. You're not listening to me a million times a day. Well, one, when you repeat the same thing like that, you're reinforcing it, right? You're putting it out in the universe. You're not listening to me. So it's coming over and over again. And I've done that with other things like, I'm so tired. I say, like, I would say it a bajillion times a day. So, I say to myself, okay, we're not saying that anymore. Those are words that are not going to come out of our mouth. So I brought this up with the you're not listening. I'm like, clearly, and this was with the help of my co-parent, sent to me an email that I didn't love, but it was helpful. So the you're not listening. So I'm not going to say it anymore. So what am I going to do instead? And I thought about my youngest son, and I thought about an incident or an interaction that we had had maybe the same day, earlier the day, whatever, it all blends together at some point recently, where he was not wanting to eat his breakfast for whatever reason. We needed to get out the door. And I'm like, eat your breakfast, eat your breakfast, eat your breakfast, like 5 million times. And he's still not eating his breakfast. I'm just like, hey there, this isn't working. Let's try something new in my head, right? So I said, hey, Damon is his name. Did you know that eggs have, vitamin A and E and K? And I don't even know if that's completely accurate, but I think they have a lot of vitamins. They're good for your bones. So I'm telling them this, and it makes you stronger, and it's gonna, all that good protein in the egg is really gonna help you to like grow and be strong. But I guess if you don't want to eat it, I can get those vitamins, and I could use those too, and I don't want it to go to waste. And he, kind of looks at his head, so he's like, vitamin A and E, and I'm like, yeah, but if you don't want it, I'll have it. Because really, I would have. I was kind of hungry. And he's like, oh no, and then he eats it all up, right? And that, and, and the little light went off in my head. And I'm like, duh, this kid just wants options. I mean, I've known that. I've said that a million times. He wants autonomy. He wants control over the decisions that he's making, as we all do. My first one was just more easy. He's more of a Zen, go with the flow kind of kid. And this guy, my youngest, came here to really reflect back to me where I'm needing my growth. And that's what the kids are doing for us. They're here as mirrors to reflect how we can grow. And if we can take those moments to reflect and to remember that and to find these little tricks and things that are going to help us grow and to help them have more autonomy and growth, it's going to be a beautiful thing. And so he got to make the choice based on me giving him more information about his food. He got to choose, and then he gets that more autonomy. And I believe it's called, I have it written down somewhere. It's called a curiosity sandwich. So I gave him the curiosity sandwich, and it starts with wonder. So it starts with me, saying something like, I wonder what makes those eggs so good for your body, or giving him that information, like, hey, did you know this? And so we get a little wonder. So he gets to think about it. And then we're giving him that invitation. I'm like, well, if you want to eat it and you want to get all those vitamins, that's really good for your body. But if you don't, mom will eat it. There are obviously going to be some times where it's not negotiable. So the curiosity sandwich might not work, but it might work and it might make your life easier. So please give it a try. And I can paste this in the description so that you have it if you want to give it a try, because I like it. I find it useful. So you give them that gentle invitation. They get to then make a choice, enforcing that autonomy, that freedom, that ability to feel like they can have more deciding power in their life. And I think that builds confidence. It builds connection with you and them because you're collaborating with them. You're giving them information and you're giving the opportunity for them to decide. In this instance, he gets to have information about the food. He doesn't know what vitamin A or E or whatever, but he knows because of our other conversations around food that vitamins are really important for your body's growth and for your health. In our house, we talk a lot about what's good for your body, all the way down to like how whining isn't always healthy for your body or complaining isn't healthy for your body. But that's a conversation for another day. And then you celebrate, like, hey, you made a really healthy choice for your body. I'm proud of you. You thought about it and you decided that having your breakfast and eating that egg is going to support your body and give you good energy for the day. And I'm proud of you for making that choice. So there you have it, a curiosity sandwich, and I will link some more information for that if you want to check it out later. So let's get back to the topic here. So we know all the way to forever, however long ago, that control has been the central foundation of parenting. That a mark of a good parent is when your kid is obedient when they're listening to you tell them to do something. When that not heard or seen and not heard, whatever that little thing is. But we also know you're here and we're moving out of that shift as I think a kind of a universal shift. I think that we're realizing that one, it's not effective parenting. It is stifling. It's creating mental health problems. It's not allowing our kids to be confident and feel like they can be themselves. They're not feeling seen. They're not feeling heard. And that all leads to those mental health crises that we're kind of in. It leads to that space where we don't feel like we're valued, like we don't feel like being ourselves is enough. I mean, how many of you, if you're here, you're likely have been doing the work and you've seen that like I am enough, I'm good enough, whatever enough. And that I believe comes so much through parenting because we're constantly telling them and controlling them and telling them how they need to be, what they need to do, don't do this, do this. And I did not want to parent that way, but I definitely found myself parenting in that situation because that's what was modeled for me. That's what the majority of all of the people that I saw parenting, that's how they were parenting. And when we're stressed, when we're tired, when we're stretched too thin, we're going to revert back to that subconscious parenting, that old style of parenting, that model of parenting. But we don't have to stay there. We can shift out of it, and it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to be consistent every day. Some days we're going to nail it, some days it's going to be hard, some days we'll take two steps back, and that's okay. Keep showing up, keep committing to the process of being the best parent that you can be, because that's what matters, because that's what your kids are going to see. You might mess up and you apologize, just like you expect them to do. And then you move forward and you keep going, and they see you trying and they see you making mistakes and apologizing and growing. And what a great example you are at that point, and how proud you can be of yourself and acknowledge yourself when you have those moments and acknowledge that you are giving your best effort because that's really important. Just as it is important to do that for your children when they're growing, when they're making great efforts, you say, hey, I see that. You're amazing. I'm super proud of you. Do that for yourself too, because you are deserving of that. Okay. And I just want to say that parenting from curiosity, I don't mean permissive parenting. I don't mean not having boundaries. I mean looking for ways to engage your children, to make them want to look at you with wonder and be like, oh, what do you have to offer? Like, not like, what do you have to offer? What are you going to give me? But like, what information is there for me so that I can make my own choice? It's like when you're trying to get the kids to get out in the car and get their shoes on, just simply like making it a little bit more fun. Like, I wonder how fast you can put your shoes on. My son loves, and yes, I let my kids watch TV, probably way too much of it. This show, what is it called? Hot Wheels. And they talk about, do you accept this challenge? So I will do things like that. Like, let's see how fast you can get your shoes on. Do you accept this challenge? So finding little tricks that you can entice your kids in a way that isn't just bossing them around and controlling them. Some of them are going to be more receptive than others. Some of them will just put on their shoes and get in the car. My oldest is pretty good about that. Some of them aren't so good about that, and that's okay. No matter where you're at, is perfect. You are at an opportunity to expand, to grow, and to let your kids see you do that and to be an amazing example of what's possible from wherever you're at. And I guarantee you, if you're feeling that resistance, then that's your higher self or your inner voice, whatever you want to call it, telling you that there's a better way. And so give it a try. Give it an opportunity to help you connect more with your children, to connect more with yourself. Because when you start to be aware, when you start to bring curiosity in yourself on how you can expand your parenting, you're going to feel more connection. And that connection's going to shine out. And then you're going to bring in that connection with your children. And that can change everything. So, if any part of this video resonated with you, if you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. If you would like to work with me one on one, please check out my link below and you can work with me one on one. And if you found this video helpful, I encourage you to please subscribe, like, and share it with any parents that you know that could use a little bit of love and support. At the end of this video, you will see a link to another video that I have, and feel free to check that out. And I look forward to seeing you again. And you're doing an amazing job, and I am so proud of you for putting the effort for yourself and for your family.